So instead of waiting on, let me press this button here, folks, go live on the Facebook feed for anybody who is listening or wanting to listen there. It is going. We got us over here. So instead of waiting on Nick to hop on, because normally not normally, he is an hour behind us on time wise. I mean, that doesn't change. But Tyler's working on getting his computer restarted. Send him a message, tell him to hop on when he can. Tyler, on when you can. But I figure while we're waiting on Tyler, before we get into today's wrestling talk, we can go ahead and talk about something that I know you don't mind talking about. Good win against Dallas. Crazy.
Oh, look, not a good one. Anytime you see the Cowgirls, it's a great day.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. See, knew we could start it off with that. But yeah, I saw a post that really I thought was great. Everybody was from Dallas was complaining about the last 14 seconds. And then somebody goes, why don't you worry about the first 3 quarters where you got sacked 5 times, only had 70 maybe yards of rushing, which our wide receiver had by himself. A number of other things. It's like, there's 14 other things you can worry about other than the last 14 seconds of the game. I was like, thank you. That summed up everything perfectly. I was like,
even the commentators said it afterwards. They were like, either they forgot what they did in spring training, or they didn't go over the fact that you don't spot the ball, the official, because that guy was hauling butt. He understood the importance of him getting there, and that's all on them. But yeah, there was no doubt.
They said the official did a good job of actually going through. They were like, well, he bumped Dak. They're like, he could have gone around the line and there would have been no shot, because most of the officials go around the end of the offensive line to come run through the middle. He realized how much time he went through the middle to save them time. So
yeah, as soon as you saw Dak, I love the replay where they showed Dak taking off, and the official, as soon as he realized, the official takes off.
Yeah,
I'm like, this dude knows what's going on. So,
and like I said, he went through the line, gave them every opportunity. Because if he'd have gone around the line like they normally do, then he spots the ball 3 seconds after time is out, not right there. So
then you can say, oh well, it isn't. No, that dude knew it. But yeah, no, I mean, it was a game. Even Jerry Jones, who I'm not a fan of, said it whenever it was like, hey, the score is not indicative of how that game was, which is we got our butts beat all game, and we still had a chance. And I think some of that was we got some self-inflicted wounds, injuries. There was some calls against us that was like, what?
The penalties were self-inflicted, were legit self-inflicted penalties. You just can't have those. And he also said it. You pay for these guys and the caliber of players. You don't pay for that kind of game. So he's a complete businessman, and he puts a lot of money into that team, and he is very rightfully upset for his output of what he paid for.
And I'll say I am not a Stephen A. fan. I mean, I know he does his job. I just think sometimes he's toned down. But I loved his Dallas fans montage that he put together with all of the screenshots.
The sad faces, all the the sad faces.
I was like, you know what? I'm not a fan of you, Stephen A., but that's funny.
But I will roll with that. Yes, exactly. So I thought that was pretty good. Dude, I've talked to some people, and I don't think anybody wants to play us right now. In all honesty, again, 100% bias, but that bias being said, I don't think anybody in their right mind wants to play the 49ers healthy.
There you go. That's the key right there. Healthy.
And nobody wants to play the 49ers when they're healthy, because when healthy, we go run the ball, wind down the clock, and then our defense comes in and makes big stops and get us the ball back on, fairly short time for their offense to have the ball. It's not a scheme that anybody likes. Nobody likes that smash mouth, run it down your throat, beat on you, have a defense that doesn't have to blitz in order to get to the quarterback, because they run their four, so they're not a blitz heavy team. So they're not having to go full out blitz, but yet somehow they're pressuring the quarterback. Nobody wants to deal with that.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I kept telling my classes. They're like, "How are you?" I'm like, "Just trust me, trust me." I'm like, if we don't win and we don't get in, then we don't deserve it. But if we get healthy and we get in, yeah, we're exactly right. We're that team that everybody dreads all year long. If they get everybody back and they get in the playoffs, we got a dogfight because, like, yeah, defense and running game travels everywhere. And the Packers right now, and I know I got some Packers. I just shared this, so Kyle Graven Swole, the bet is still on there. Playoff games, double or nothing. But yeah, it's running game and defense travel, and that's we'll see. I mean, it's Lambeau. But
It's
just like today with Vestavia Wrestling State Duels, like you want to be in playoffs, you want to play these games, and just go perform.
and this is what our guys want to do. There's a multitude of different things going on with these guys, from wanting to get back to the Super Bowl from a couple years ago. So we got those guys that want that. You got Jimmy G legit playing for his job. You ain't telling me he wants to ball out, you know.
Yeah.
And then you also got the lovely fact that we've beaten Aaron Rodgers the last however many playoff games we've had with him.
3 playoff games in a row. This season was the first time they beat us in a long time.
Yeah, but that wasn't a playoff game. I'm talking about in the playoffs last.
It's 3 in a row. But even the game is the game this season was we left too much time on the clock and they kicked the last second field.
Yeah, we left time on the clock, and I don't think we had everybody at that point in time either.
Ooh. Huh? No, but you know what? We still got to go play.
So I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. So we got Tyler back from the dead over here.
There he is.
Yeah, we bought a little bit of time for Wrestling Talk. We talking about our Niners for a little bit. Figured, it's still sports, still our podcast. We'll do what we want.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go in there. So
I don't even know who's in the playoffs this year right now. I know like San Francisco and
that's all you got to know. You can stop.
San Francisco's going to go play Green Bay. You don't like Green Bay, right?
No, not really. I respect them, but I don't like.
You're still okay. We'll still let you. I'm not going to boot you off just yet. Then.
Are the Rams in? Are the Rams in the playoffs?
They play Tampa Bay.
They're playing Tampa. Okay. Yeah, apparently the Rams messages board is like all about some Green Bay, and all the San Francisco people are like, of course you are, because you don't want your daddy to come back over there.
Hey, I'll pull for the Rams just because of Matt Stafford. So he's a former Lion. He deserves it. He needs a few playoff wins.
Yeah. He got one.
He got one. Great. He never did that at Detroit. So
yeah, he beat the Cardinals, the team.
Yeah, they beat the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did.
And then if you really want, he can have 2, and when we win, then that's the end of the line.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We're not handing out anymore. All right. So, but yeah, I guess now that we got Tyler on his limited voice talking for a while, we're gonna see how long he can hold out here. Good to see you again. I know last time I saw Tyler, he was on his feet doing well, and then get the text, I'm not feeling so well. And then the next test yeah, it's positive and this sucks. And now he's like, all right, I'll try to get on today with a little bit of a voice. So
man, I tell you what, like it went from being just kind of like a scratchy throat. I was like, all right, I've got a scratchy throat. I don't think anything of this. And then like I woke up the next day with like 102-degree fever and could barely move. And it was like that for like 3.5 days straight. And I had like bad vertigo. I couldn't eat. I couldn't hold anything down. Like I was coughing relentlessly. It was miserable. And then like sometime Monday or Tuesdays, like it kind of eased up, but like my body's still recovering and like my voice is like coming back. But I mean, for like a few days I couldn't talk. And then like walking now is still kind of but I mean, it is what it is, honestly, with the way things were going, it's kind of I think for most people right now, it's more of a if not when, like you're going to catch it type thing. So it's like, you just got to be ready. And
It was
pretty
like
much
that
out.
meme I posted of Muhammad Ali doing. I stole it from Quasi. It was like anybody trying to avoid it right now with how bad things were getting.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I mean, if
Hey,
you
what's
can't make
great
light of
though?
it right now and just kind of move on with it, then
Well, what was crazy is that week, last week, I think it was, yeah, last week, me and Nina were gonna go get our booster shots, like for our COVID boosters. We had that schedule. Well, we had it that week before, and that's when like we had the outbreak, and then I was like, okay, well, Nina's sick, and then like I'm like, like with like a cold that was going around. I was like,
get your booster
so
up now. So
yeah, so I was like, then that's the thing. Now I've got the natural booster, so I'm like, okay, I guess that, I guess I'm good for now, which is a positive.
now, speaking of, I guess the natural inclination is for everybody to wonder. I messaged the group last night. Was looking forward to Virginia Tech and NC State.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna
Mhm.
have Hayden versus oh god, I just drew a blank. I was just talking to Devin about it earlier. Former national champ, Virginia Tech.
Makai Lewis.
Makai,
Yeah.
there we go. They were supposed to wrestle, and then Virginia Tech goes out. And what I saw, it just said Virginia Tech will not be traveling for their season opener and will be forfeiting, which that struck me as like will be forfeiting, not rescheduling, but will be forfeiting their season opener for ACC. So my question is, one, okay, obviously everybody's question whenever something happens, I guess, did they have an outbreak? What happened? And what's going on? And then why forfeit it versus just postponing it? Like that's your conference. Like,
Yeah.
would there be any reason why they wouldn't be trying to reschedule, or why would they automatically say will be
I
forfeited?
know some
Trying to see if I can
conferences
find out.
now this is for like college football. I think I don't know if this takes place next year if it happened this year, but I know for like some football conferences it was a matter of if you were to have so many people test positive and it would result in a forfeit, which I understand. Like I kind of get it. It's like, yeah, you can't play. But at the same time, like I think the postponing would work easier. It's just the problem when you get into the postponing, it's like they have to figure out dates and all that. And I guess it just gets too difficult. So they consider it just like a forfeit. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I know that's kind of how it was in college football. So
Yeah, I think that was a conference-wide thing.
So it's just more of a conference decision versus, yeah. Now I did see
but what
that.
happens what if you get like inclement weather and you just like you physically can't travel on the roads? Do you forfeit because you can't travel on the roads? Like, I mean, or is it just like a forfeit due to illness type thing? Like, to what extent do these forfeits?
That's something to look into. I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
an
I don't-
interesting. It's an interesting wonder, like how does all that go through and how they've decided to do all these things. So, but I did see that I think NC State will be wrestling. I think they're going to Campbell. I thought they said they picked up somebody to wrestle that evening. So good for Campbell picking that up or stepping in to fill that spot. It's not the Makai Lewis match versus one of the Hidley brothers that I was looking forward to seeing or hearing about. I thought that would have been a cool matchup. But I don't know, two other pretty big matchups, which I'm going to be going through and seeing who I know who has a Big Ten network username, email, password, whichever. Like, hey,
I think I might have one for you. I don't know. I'll have to try to log in.
But it's kind of funny. Like they got two matches tonight. And I guess that's kind of, the big talk right now, unless anybody else knows of anything super big to talk about other than those two matches.
No, has it just been me or has it been like, I don't know, this wrestling season, there's really not been, I mean, of course, like you've got like the tournaments and stuff, but there hasn't really been like that big premier matchup. I mean, there's been like one or two, but like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or if it's the fact that like I'm just not letting my hopes get up because of like how everything's going. Like, because at the drop of a hat, you could have a match go from being like a prime time type match to having four guys like the who was it? Was it Michigan?
Yeah, that's kind of what we wanted to see initially, and then it went from Siriano making his debut to wait, he's not enrolled yet, to wait, he's not wrestling, to wait, somebody's got COVID, to wait, they are going to air 4 matches. So I mean, I think we've had good matches. There's been some good duels.
Oh no, there's been some good duels.
There's been some. Who upset? Was it Lehigh that upset somebody, or somebody upset them? I mean, so there's been a few upsets and stuff. So I think it's been good with all that. It's just been a little bit different to watch. I think tonight we kind of got a double header that's pretty awesome. I kind of wish this one was first, but you never know what the way the rankings are going. We got Iowa versus who is Iowa wrestling tonight? Because I know the other one. Iowa's wrestling. It's not Penn State because that's the next one I want to talk about.
So hey, reading up while you're looking that up, reading on the Virginia Tech, it's an ACC policy. Now that I read this, it makes sense. So like if you have to cancel or you go in a COVID protocol when you can't compete, then those are automatically ruled forfeits, not reschedules because of it, for safety of it. So that's why it's different than inclement weather, because you're having shut down for multiple days. So
Gotcha.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Who was the Big Ten schedule? Iowa's wrestling tonight. The main matchup that I did want to talk. God, who are they wrestling? That was a awesome doubleheader. I got you. Give me a second here.
You want to talk? You're talking about the one with the shirt that you're wearing?
Well, no, they're not wrestling. I was wrestling.
No, I know the other duel.
The other duel, Penn State and Michigan, and then where is it?
Good thing we don't have any Michigan fans on here.
No, not even slightly.
Ohio State. I don't know why I was drawing a blank at that. I don't know what we're talking about since our last podcast. Why anybody would think that like Michigan has become like a
He's
new, like,
got the
favorite
he's got
team
the
or anything over
dang.
here. So there's no bias or
I remember somebody.
I converted him.
somebody making a
I
claim.
converted him.
somebody
don't
may have
know.
made a claim on this podcast, and it may or may not have affected how people dress now. As far as
I'm just saying, like somebody might have already thrown it out there, and now as people start to realize, wait, this might actually happen.
that might actually happen, you know. So we're gonna dress to the occasion for it.
I mean, you may have called it, but I mean, I think I'm the one. I don't want to say corrupted him, but I showed him the light, and now look at him. He's geared up.
Yeah. That's just poor fashion choice right there. I mean, that's bandwagon stuff right there. I was
Blue and the
an
maids.
analyst on this podcast of examining the lineups and giving you my projections, which is what this is about. I'm not a bandwagoner. So, and Purdy. So
look, I will jump on that bandwagon right now. Look, I've been rolling with some of those guys. Look, as far as like bandwagon, does it count? Does it count to be bandwagon if I've been a fan of?
Send it down to me. I will rock the maize and gold. I promise you.
Yes.
But
Oh yeah.
not until that happens. So hit me up. I'll wear it. I don't care.
Yeah, all mine were gifts too. I don't know like who got me this one here. Like honestly, maybe with the Clemson.
I have
flag in
no
their
idea.
background.
I have no idea who
But-
got that.
So
I'm going to come from Michigan. I'm not coming.
and look, I gotta say though, Michigan's lineup, like I liked half those guys before they are everywhere else they were at. They just all happened to land somehow with Tyler's speculation every time. I was like, they're all going to Michigan. Everybody went to Michigan, and every dog has his day. Had his day like 6 days in a row, you know. So
Then all of a sudden, right before Big Ten's, it's going to be
I still remember saying Sirianni was going to go to Michigan as a joke. I remember
you
that.
said
But
the
he's
same
going to
thing
Michigan.
with Biceps Brucky was as a joke, and we're you know
Yeah,
I mean,
it works.
So,
I mean-
all right. So before we get more into that lineup, Ohio State was who Iowa was wrestling. Not as competitive as the matchup or the duel, but still, anytime you're looking at just on a schedule, man, you got Iowa versus Iowa State, Iowa versus Ohio State, and then you have Michigan and Penn State all in one evening. I mean, talk about like as far as like an evening of wrestling, and then high school wrestling, you got Blair versus Wyoming Seminary, like the two big powerhouses in high school. So there's nothing but wrestling on tonight. I'm
Kind of a good night because
I'm still a huge Iowa fan. I'm loving the cat that they pulled his red shirt for Spencer Lee. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I'm not going to even attempt to.
Yeah, you know how Nate, Iola, whichever. I mean, that cat has had how many matches, and he's a top 10 wrestler already. I mean, I knew the dude was legit, and I was like, man, a year in the room behind Lee, and then all of a sudden he has to pull his red shirt. I'm like, dude, he's, you know.
I mean, those are big shoes to fill, but so far he's been like it doesn't seem like that pressure is getting to
Yeah.
him.
And I'm not saying he's going to be a finalist, but I mean, he's scoring All-American points.
No, but I mean, he's
tournament.
solid.
So
I mean,
the fact that they had that right
yeah.
there is big for them.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to checking out that duel
Yeah.
tonight. I wonder how much longer until we see Ohio State get back into they're 8th or 9th right now. When do we see them get back into the top 5?
They're 9 right now. Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting
Yeah.
more this year. I don't know what. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's why I asked that, because I was kind of like, I knew they were off for a little bit, and I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, man, they're going to be coming back here pretty soon, and we'll see them as a top 5 team, but we just haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah,
but-
I'm not sure. I mean, even you can have like a really talented room and then it just not for some reason pan out. So I mean, it could be one of those things with like a couple more years of like getting some good recruits in. Like it could be a great thing for them, or it could end up being one of those things that people see him falling off and then stop looking at them and start looking at like other schools. And if that's the case, it's not going to hurt my feelings none because, you know, I'm not a fan of Ohio State. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, they've had a history of really great wrestlers. So it's kind of, I mean, we're talking about them being 9, like that's terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
Well, I
number
was wondering
9 in
if-
the nation.
is it more them falling off, or more of like some of these other teams just being that good? Like their number 9 team is still,
I think it's a mix of both.
but like
It's a,
the lineups
it's a mix
that
of
like
both. I think.
Michigan is able to pull in, Penn State able to get their transfers. Like, is this the transfer portal and some of these guys moving, like really keeping maybe some of those top, or not even keeping, because Michigan wasn't a top 5 team last year. They were like, what, 6, 8 last year? Like, can we see that switch?
I thought they were in the top 5 last year, or they
Yeah.
may have been in and then fell out or something. But
Yeah, but like how much of it, like we talked about it before, how much of it is now that we're starting to see, hey, with this transfer, you go from 8 to 2, you know, like how much more is that going to keep a continued play into the next few seasons?
I don't know. I definitely think it's a mix of both. I think it's a matter of they're kind of having a slightly down year. I mean, it's hard to say someone is number 9 in the country and is having a down year, but compared to what they usually are, yeah, I mean, and I think it's a mix of that, and then just like you have other teams this year that are just like absolute savages like Michigan, Iowa, and whatnot. So I mean, I don't think it's like the end of Ohio State's wrestling program or anything.
Yeah.
Not saying like but I'm saying like I don't think they're gonna be like hurting for recruits or anything. I still think they're gonna get people in. I think it's just this year's probably not their year.
Well, we talked about this. I think it was last spring or whenever Snyder left. We started talking about the RTCs and the impact it was going to have on the college seasons.
Mhm.
And I think that's playing a role in it too, because, you know, look at what Michigan's RTC has compared to what Ohio State's RTC has. And that's when you begin to see those things transpire of, it's not just college, it's who else is in that room that I get to train with.
Yeah.
And the names and the levels I'm trying to get to. And Tom Ryan is a fantastic person and a fantastic coach. It's that other stuff, even though the facility is there, that with Snyder leaving, it makes people, I think if you're a recruit, it's going to make you question.
Yeah.
And that's what those top recruits are starting to look for now, is not facilities, it's the RTCs and who else is there for me to train with to get to that level I want. And it looks like that might be the difference right now with it. So especially transfer portals too.
I forgot about that too. It wasn't just Kyle Snyder leaving, but Terrell Delagnev, like Snyder's coach, basically, he went someplace else. So the RTC coaching
He's
staff.
in Nebraska. He's in Nebraska RTC now.
So that we're seeing that move around, which I think is a good thing for us, and it mixes things up, and it just leaves for those of us watching and having another venue to watch, another like gamut of interest to us. You know, maybe not to the regular person who's still just trying to follow college wrestling, wondering why. But for us, I think it's that much more exciting because, I mean, heck, we talk about it. We all like freestyle and we enjoy that senior level and all that. So following that along, I think we're all big fans of as well. So moving on. So everybody got Iowa tonight versus Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
and I don't think
Yeah, I
it'll be
didn't-
close.
Yeah. All right. So then the big duel tonight is Michigan, Penn State 3-1. Penn State's 1 now, right?
Penn
Yep.
State's won.
And then I was looking at the lineup or projected lineup for tonight. The number of ranked wrestlers in this duel is everything you expect from a 1 and a 3 team. Based off that alone, I think it's going to be a crazy match. You guys want
Man,
to
you know what's sad?
Mhm.
You want to know what's like kind of depressing? This would be a perfect night for you to cash in on the wing bet.
It would be.
And
And
I
it's my
and like
man's here
literally, I
been
could
on me
just
wings for how long, and he keeps
yeah,
throwing them up every time he can't. That
that would
like
be
his brown
perfect.
water cabinet over there, but we won't talk about that here. So, but you guys want to run through the projected lineup and just kind of see what we think?
Yeah, I was trying
Yeah,
to.
we can do that. I'll
I
be
got it pulled up. Right.
completely unbiased. I'll be unbiased and not at all going to pick all Michigan. So
All
let's
right.
go
Well,
ahead.
let's run it through. 125. We got Suriano versus Adelbrandt. That's a number 1 versus number 10 right now. Anybody
Number
picking?
Hildebrandt's number 7.
Okay, I guess depending on which ranking thing you see on there.
I just pulled up. So anyway.
Okay. Do they have Suriano at number 1 still?
Yeah, they do.
So anybody not have Suriano? Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I do. I have Suriano winning, but I'm saying I'm not choosing against him.
Even my cat said Siriano. So
Suriano,
Yeah.
yeah. Even though, like, and I'm gonna mess with Tyler a bit more. I think he's letting his hair grow out a little bit, just in case anybody wants to try to see how that feels on the headgear. But we'll argue about that later on for you.
He got rid of something. I was like, somebody looks a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would so I did it to get rid of some of the germs and some of the dead skin that was caked up under there, because this is gonna this is gonna be gross to some people, but while I was sick, I didn't shower for like 3 or 4 days just because I had no energy. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of gross. So I was like, let me shave all this off. I ended up, don't worry, I did shower eventually. And I showered this morning. It's just when I was sick, I didn't even have the energy to get out of bed. So
there's this stuff called soap. You like rub it in there, and
I use conditioner. I usually use
back
conditioner.
to the real stuff, because that was.
All right, yeah, we're digressing. All right,
I use conditioner and beard oil.
All right, so far we got Suriano from Michigan winning 33. We got, is it Ragusin versus RBY?
Yeah.
RBY is the number 1 guy at 33. Ragson's number 8, an All-American type guy, but I don't see him having the firepower to take out Roman Bravo Young.
This was like 125 with Serrano. Like, you just keep on trucking.
It's crazy. I like watching RBY in freestyle, but he angers me in folk style. Like,
yeah,
his third period, he gets up and I don't know, seemingly runs. But anyway, this one I thought was going to be more competitive, but Micic has not been like firing on all cylinders, it seems like, his last couple matches. But Micic versus Nick Lee. Micic pull off an upset?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think if Michigan's going to win this duel, this is where they've got to swing. They got to swing this one.
Yeah.
Bingo. That's exactly why I'm picking them, because I think like you said, if Michigan wins this, that's one matchup that Michigan needs to take. So that's what I'm gonna go. I don't think it's gonna be like a blowout or anything. As far as I don't think Micic's gonna go in there and bonus Nick Lee or anything, but I do think they need that win. So I'm gonna go with Micic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I agree that they need that win there. I don't think Micic pulls it off tonight, though.
Hey, wait a second. All right. So
how are you gonna wear that shirt and say that?
No, tell me. All right. So here, tell me this. It is in Michigan. Michigan wins. It's at home.
Oh, it's at Michigan?
Yep.
Oh, that changes up the dynamics of that.
That's why I had to look out, because if it was at Penn State, I was like, all right, I'd probably lean Lee.
Okay. This being at home versus Penn State, they're packing out. I'll swing that. I think being at home makes it a big change, and I think he's gonna do it. What's up, Henry? I'll say hey to everybody.
What's up, bud?
What's up, Henry?
All right. Well, don't fall in the chair. All right. Yeah, so I'll switch that to Micic. Next up, though.
I saw Pika too.
Yeah, she came in. They got 2 guys, Cannon Store or Cole Martin, possibly against Bo Bartlett. What you guys think?
Store.
If it's Store, I think he can. I think he beats Bartlett.
I think he can do it. If they go Martin, I think Bartlett wins here. So, but I'm going again with that whole being at home. I'm gonna still go Bo on this one, just what I think. So we'll have to like count it up here. So we still got 3-1 on my count versus, because you guys got the
We
first
got-
4 going all Michigan.
No,
No, I picked
Oh, no,
RBY.
RBY. Never mind. So, ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, I got 2-2. You guys
Tyler and I
got,
are 3-1. You're 2-2 so far.
yeah, I'm 2-2. All right, 57. Luan and Tony. I don't know who this cat is at.
They've got like 3 guys listed right now. I mean, I guess you go Luan.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the name guy. I mean, kind of got to go there. So
Is it Luan or Lewin? I forget how you pronounce his
Lewin.
name.
Luan,
It's
I
one
think
of the
is
two.
Oklahoma State. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of the two. It's either Lewin or Luan.
I
I
think
forget.
Luan was one of the Oklahoma State guys. All right, so everybody's got Michigan there. All right, we got one of the 15,000 means. Like Duke has fine silvers. Michigan has a means. So we got Cam Amin versus Brady.
We also have a Chirella, I'm pretty sure too. I think we have.
They did. I don't know where.
If it's-
I don't see him in the lineup right now.
He's not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Amin versus Brady Berge.
Oh man, that's
How many matches?
that-
How many matches has Brady wrestled this season? Because I know he just decided to come back.
I don't know, but they already got him on this thing that I'm looking. They already got him ranked at 17.
Well, you have to because of past. And that's what a lot of them did. That's why I'm asking. Like, if he hasn't wrestled but 1 or 2 matches,
I go Amin on this one.
I mean, on that one.
Yeah, that's how. Now, if he had 5 matches already and has gotten his feet wet and he's back in, Brady Berge's tough, but
Yeah, no,
I don't think
that's,
he's got enough matches to be ready to do it tonight at Michigan.
um.
All right.
I mean, so obviously you said it's Cam Amin, right?
Yeah,
Cameron.
Cam.
Yeah. Part of me definitely wants to choose him, but then also, like you said, Berge, it's depending on which version of him shows up. I mean, I've been picking all Michigan so far, and I don't want this to be a super blowout. So let me say Berge takes that one just to mix it up.
Yeah, you get to that point of like, I've picked so many in a row. Like the odds are though, you gotta. I mean,
And like we said, you are at home.
it is.
So-
This is a big at home. So,
But Penn State always finds a way. Penn State's crafty. I mean,
it is. But the means at home and the next one up, Logan Massa at home. I know number 1 Carter Storocci.
that's going to be a solid match.
Dude,
I don't see where he's wrestled this year.
if he hasn't wrestled at all, then I'm definitely all in on Cam.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I've been picking everyone Michigan, so I'm going to mix it up and just go Berge just to say, like, he comes in and it's like, boom.
So would you
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
mix it up and go there, or would you rather say Carter Sochi, who's number 1 at 74? Or are you going with Logan Massa taking out number 1?
I don't think Massa takes out
Which one do
number
you
1,
think's
but it's
more
going to
likely? I think if Cam Amin
Oh.
taking out Brady Berge is more likely than Logan Massa taking out Storocci.
Yeah.
Oh no, I 100% agree. I mean, but it's for me, it could be Berge wins and then Massa loses as well. Storocci goes in and wins. That's 2 back-to-back wins for Penn. I mean, so far that would put me at having 3 guys winning for Penn and like 4 or I forget however many for Michigan. So it'd still keep Michigan ahead.
Yeah, 4
But then again, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna go Berge. Even in that environment, he is a senior. He's been there. You know, it's almost one of those like the old guy knows it, and you can maybe get the young one. So I'd probably go with that one on that.
Yeah, that's a good way to do. I'm gonna go Amin just based off of whether or not Berge's wrestled much this year. I think Storocci is hard to beat. I'm
Yeah.
kind of almost going, since I picked
Yeah,
Amin, I'm going Storocci on the next one versus Massa. But I don't know. What do you guys think, Storocci or Massa?
Oh,
I wanna see
Storocci,
Massa.
100%. I would love to see Massa win, but no.
No,
Now-
Starochi wins that one.
The next one, which I think, do you think they end with this match? Like, do you think they do it? Do they end? So would they start with 97 with Brookie versus Max Dean to end with this match? Or do you think they go in order? Like, do they go Miles Dean or Brooks to end the night, like 1 versus 2?
Biceps Brookie.
Well, you're skipping the match I'm talking about, though. Like,
No,
Miles,
I know, but you
Yeah.
mentioned Brookie, and I had
I'll
to
see
flex.
it.
I had to show the biceps. The biceps covered by a sweatshirt.
I don't know. If I'm Michigan, I probably want to start at 25.
that's what I'm saying. I want to go, but as the fan, like to watch the highlight match of the night, like that should be
Yeah,
the ender. I mean, oh yeah, I want to start at 25 and end with Paris on the other side.
yeah.
As far as how things play out, but I'm going Miles on this one. Miles,
I mean, yeah, he's.
I think Miles can take out Brooks. Brooks and Starochi, yeah, they're both number 1. They're both defending, but like they're not without their own controversies. Miles has been wrestling freestyle circuit. He's been looking good. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I don't think it's. I don't see it as a great surprise to think that Miles Amin could definitely beat Brooks here.
Yeah.
My only holdup on fully jumping on this is the athleticism of Aaron Brooks.
Yeah.
And watching Miles wrestle, like you said, the guys that are fully athletic like this in freestyle have given him trouble, and now you get that guy in a more controlled folk style,
Where you can ride somebody out possibly and
I
just
think that makes it more dangerous. I would not be surprised. I'll say I'm going to go with Brooks, but I would not be shocked at all if Miles Amin wins this match.
I think it's fair enough.
That
Yeah. I mean,
athleticism just, I don't know.
this I think is probably one of the biggest 1-2 matches that we've seen so far this year. That's like totally like let's watch this one. So
Yeah.
legit right here. I'm
Definitely.
that I want to see. All right. So as Tyler was flexing with Brookie, we get to see Max Dean, whom we thought was going to be in a Cornell uniform and all that, and now is in a Penn State. Like the controversy with all of that move and everything. Does Max Dean pull it off against Biceps or?
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I can remember seeing Biceps wrestle. So I would just do this on name alone, knowing Max Dean, but I also know Max Dean. If Biceps is athletic, it's kind of the other way around.
Yeah.
Bucky is Bucky is like a Brooks. If you have an athletic person, it gives the Deans trouble. And
Yes.
if he is, then I can very easily see Bucky winning this one.
Yeah.
Brookie is
Brookie is biceps,
Powerhouse.
like he's like that big block looking dude, but he moves athletically. And I think that's what's
Then I would.
but at the same time, Max Dean's been sitting in a room with Aaron Brooks, like a weight class below him, probably as a workout partner. So given that, that one, even though they're like, what do you have them ranked at? This one has like 8-2. I think that's a whole lot I think it's a whole lot closer than that. Like, I don't know. I don't want to like bump Brookie up past people that he doesn't have to pass, but I really see those two like a 3-4 or 4-5, like one thing apart. Like I think that's gonna be tight there.
I would probably say this: Aaron Brooks wins, Max Dean wins. Amin wins, Bucky wins.
I like that. I think that is a legit with workout partners. I think that is a legit call right there. I
And
fully,
momentum and all that stuff. So
yep. I think with the way workout partners go and how they match up with each other, I think that's super legit call. 285, we got heavyweights again. He's not.
I'm getting a phone call. Hold on 1 second.
He's not even in this lineup because he is at Minnesota, but like there is Gable Stevenson and then everybody else. So I say Gable Stevenson wins this duel or this match, and
Well, and the thing about it is there's such a gap now between Gable and Paris,
mhm,
and even Paris and Cassiope. Like,
mhm.
it's like you already know what's going to happen with this one. Like Paris, I mean, that's a W for Paris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we have, even though he's not here, you have to mention him. It's Gable Stevenson, you got Mason Cassiope, and then like everybody else, and they're all just like, it's so weird that that weight is so good, but so spaced out. Like it's, like the levels of how good those guys are and the spacing between them is like mind-boggling. Like, how do we have that many
What
good
game-
heavyweights, but distinctly separated out? And
And that wrestle, not the traditional.
yes, like that's what I'm saying. Like that, we've been talking about having heavyweights like this for years upon years, and now we have all of them. And then
Yeah.
yet somehow they're still distinctly separated out on who is the best at it. So
Yeah, and there's no, like you said, once you get past Cassiope, then they start to kind of bunch back up. But those three are just so much.
yeah. So I that one kind of blows my mind. I think that's gonna be a great duel. I'm really hoping to find a way to watch some of that. Other than just like on the watch parties. Oh god. Or other than on something else. Yes, you want to watch it too. I know. All right. I mean, I really want to see that. There was one other thing that I was gonna say when we had
We're
mentioned
gonna
last time.
thank Tyler for picking against Paris to end the duel. So that was why he really he went off. So
Oh yeah,
we
no.
announced his pick
No.
for everybody to know.
No, Paris definitely is not losing. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, so Paris wins that one. Oh yeah, and then I think we should do this again when they finish up the card for the super match that is shaping up to be really nice with Kyle Snyder, Jane Cox super match, and then they're throwing in some great matches so far. Rona Gross and Sarah Heidelbrandt, and then was it Nolf and somebody that they got in there? Green, I think Nolf and Green or James Green and somebody. So I think sounds about right, but I think I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing there. I think it's worth mentioning that it's really cool to see another group other than one that has bugged our phones for years and taken all our stories already, but like see another group do these like this card and putting out content and stuff like that. So but I'm looking forward to that. That one's been kind of cool seeing some of their stuff come up. But yeah, I think oh yeah, based off of what we think, do we get Michigan pulling the upset off tonight, guys?
Yes, I think Michigan wins.
Uh,
I think it comes down to like probably like one or two matches as far as like you might see like a 3-point differential maybe.
Let's see. Three.
it's going to be decided 65 through 95, 97 will decide the duel. If Penn State wins those four, then they win the duel. But if Michigan can find a way to get two of those, then I think Michigan gets it. Like I said, if Aaron Brooks wins, then Max Dean gets a win, and so that's just
Yeah.
it's what you want. So
Yeah, oh, yeah.
that's my
And then I also think worth mentioning though is stuff like Roman Bravo. Like, does he major? Like, does he throw up enough points to major? Like we're talking about that. It could very well come down to the way some of that goes. Like, does his major win the match versus, Suriano just getting, like, do we think Suriano just wins, or do you think he majors or techs or pins?
I
or
think
like,
I think he at least majors, at least.
see, that's what I'm talking about. Is like there's gonna be a couple matches that I think we all think Roman Bravo Young wins. We all think Nick Suriano wins, but like, where's the bonus points go? Like, and will that become a factor later on? Possibility. I think that's gonna be big initially. So that's starting off, or like Nick Lee and Michik. We all talked about how close that could be, but at the same time, though, like if Nick Lee gets on top and does stuff, like could he like blow it open? Like there's a chance for a few bonuses throughout here that could be really weird. And then also Mason Paris could very well pin, and get big bonus points there as well.
Yeah, because like, oh, and if Cam Amin and Miles Amin both pick up wins, like you say, with Paris picking up a win, you're gonna get, if you're Michigan, you're probably gonna get bonus at 57 too. So that right there, that's why I say if Michigan can get 2 wins between 65 and 97, they're gonna win the duel.
Yeah.
I think that's the stretch where where it comes down. So that Michigan's got to get 2 wins.
Cool deal. Well, all right, guys. I think that turned out to be, at first just talking about a couple different matches. Didn't realize we were gonna go through all that. I enjoyed doing that. Turned out to be a good episode here, and I think, like I said, we'll get back on it and maybe recap and see what happens after tonight, and we can talk about how right we all were, or how crazy it turned out.
We were. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anybody else got anything they can think of going on wrestling world wise, or nothing else? All right. Other than that super match.
Other than that kid that video you shared, Jaden Cox giving him a pep talk.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That was so cool.
That
Like, of all the people to give you a pep talk, like,
yeah.
I don't know if the kid realizes how lucky he was to be here. And
I looked through like that person's feed who like posted that video, and that kid's been wrestling long enough that I think that you know who Jaden Cox is, and you listen, like that's kind of like, oh god, Jaden Cox just gave me advice on how things are, and yeah, that's a motivator right there. That's pretty amazing. So
all right,
I was like,
I'm gonna head off here and.
All right, you take it easy, man. You get some more rest, and hopefully after the weekend we'll see you back at school. Oh yeah, we're not on the mat again until Tuesday anyway because of those protocols. So
yeah,
hopefully by Tuesday you're good to be back in the room. We got to finish up our conference and everything else. So
sounds good. I got a middle school tournament in the morning, so I get a little bit of rest and go right back at it.
we would, but everything got canceled around here from the weather and stuff. So and then on hiatus, which worked out for us since we got hit with team protocols and contact, blah blah blah. Anyway, so our program was shut down for 10 days. So weather came for us at a great time. So couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it looks like I still get my rushes too. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll get it figured out. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later on.
Bye bye.